Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll do a quick video on the LJL, and we'll be doing it as a tier list. We'll start off with the organizations as a whole, and then we'll do it on the players in roles, and we'll just sort of go through and give like a brief overview as to what the LJL is all about. I was planning on doing this before the season started, but I got a bit distracted and ended up not being able to do it. So I think the thing that's easiest to do is start with the top, to be honest, with the LJL. I think we all know that like the top teams are pretty obvious. So obviously you've got DFM and Sengoku. Obviously after the first game, I think we have to do it that way around. I think everyone knows that Sengoku have got like you've got Paz, you've got Once, you've got Jet, you've got Loken. I mean the only real weakness is NT. And you compare that with like DFM. DFM have got Steel, Aria, Utapon and Harp still, which is very, very solid. But they struggled against a weaker Sengoku roster. And they've now picked up Toll 2 in place of Evi. And, like, Toll 2 is nowhere near as good. He's going to get diffed quite a lot this season. I don't think... You'll see when I talk about it later, I don't think he's one of the top laners. I don't know, obviously, as I've said in the Blast video, I haven't watched enough LJL Academy last year to really comment on it, but he's not good. And I think the next step is to go from the bottom. I think that's fairly obvious. I think V3 are the weakest team in the tournament by far. I think we might have to go, like, they've got Washidai. Like, have they got anyone? Like, have they got anyone who I think's promising? I'm just looking through it. I mean, they're all just... You know what? They've got Ace. Ace has done bits in the past as a player, even if he's been a coach. Like, he's Bjergsen. He's Bjergsen. He's Bjergsen. I was gonna say Burger King, which is why he came out as Bjergsen. He's Burger King. I think it then becomes easier to do it by player. Or sorry, by team. The next team I think is the most obvious is the Hawks. I think they are comfortably one of the most competitive teams. You got Marble, who I think is a go. He's going to be the future go in the ADC role. I would almost be tempted to do that, to put them in championship contenders and say that they're the top three. I'm going to leave them championship pretenders for now. I think when you've got like Marble, who we don't know too much about, like he could have a really bad sophomore slump. Then you've got Blank and Dasher, who have been pretty, and Kinatu even to a degree, who've been pretty mediocre for the last few years. And you've got Vista, who might be on the floor since his Worlds appearance. Obviously, because he had his Worlds appearance, and then he's just been on one of the worst teams ever, and looked like one of the worst players in that team. But admittedly, it was genuinely a shit bot lane. Like, him and Sam D were not good, and I personally blame that on Sam D, but you never know. And then I don't know who you'd say next is a fairly convincing team. This might seem a little bit biased. I'm going to say it's CGA. I think, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, I think CGA are a fairly solid team. Nap and Honey are the main reason that I'm saying this. Obviously Primo's come up for Academy, and Honey is very... Honey is very... coin flippy. He's very coin flippy. And with Primo and Yucho are definitely a big weakness, and Nap and Cassin have been around for a while and not done too much. But I think this might be CGA's year for the players to step up a bit. And if it really comes down to it, Yucho is just not good enough. They have still got RRE in their academy. He's been around from their academy for a while. He represented Japan at the Esports Championships for East Asia in 2021, where he'd got some decent experience against mid-laners such as Vikla and Kame. And that was an insane tournament. For those that don't know, like, in China you had Shanji, XLB, and Photic. I mean, obviously they had Kame and Care, who weren't great. But then you compare it with South Korea. You had Ilya, who's currently still the top laner for Freaks Challengers. You had Bonnie, who's still Katie Roster Challengers. Then you had Victor, obviously of FlyQuest, who's been goated for a while. Then you had Envy, who's now Sandbox's AD carry, and then you have Jonghyun of Astralis. Like, that team was really good, and obviously China's was pretty good, and Japan just didn't stand a chance to win a game. Only Rare has done anything, and the others were all pretty mid. So, yeah. I don't know. They got Rare if Yujo goes to shit, but you never know what will happen. The other, by the way, is worth saying, I will be doing each tier list as a separate video, just FYI, because I do ramble on like this a lot. I think the next team that's worth talking about might be Axes. Axes have got a lot of players who are very well known for not doing very much. In like Eno, Megumin, Dicey, they've been around for a while. Hogler, he's been around for quite a while as well, to be fair. He's done bits every so often, and he's just gone to LLA where he shat the bed with All Knights. But with the signing of Tuni, they could outperform what I think they're going to do. But I'm going to say for now they're a solid mid-table mediocrity. Like, they haven't... You know what, I'm going to push Hawks up. Because Hawks have depth as well. Because, like, if Kinatu falls off, they got Yellow Yoshi. Dasher falls off, they got Kaito, who's probably equal. Vista could be outdone by Charlie. Like, I don't know. They've got some decent players on that bench. And I think... Actually, at or above. It's just sort of a between the two type position, I think, for me. I know this is going to look quite odd, because I think V3 are going to be on their own, and I think there's a chance... Hawks are obviously going to be on their own. I don't know... You might end up having 3 in there, to be honest. Burning Core are interesting to me. Rafe Harkey is been around for a while. He's not done very much. Cad is sort of similar. He's been around for less long. He was part of that All Knights team as well that didn't do very well. Dice, he's been around for ages. Well, I say ages. He's been around since 2020. He's not ever done very much. Yuki has been around for ages. He's not done very much. Reiner's been around for ages. He's done bits. He's part of that V3 Worlds team. Probably one of the weakest players on that team. So I think I might put Burning Core down here with V3. But ahead of V3 though. I think V3 comfortably have the weakest team. You'd almost want to put a tier between them, but I don't think it wouldn't be logical to have a thing that looked like that. A tier list that looked like that. And because you'd also want to put Fennel on their own, probably. Oh. Ooh, okay. Well, I guess I'll hold them for now. Fennel... The thing is, they got Leo, right? I think they're going to have to go like this. I think... Which kind of makes me want to say we have 2 in each tier. But I think there's enough of a gap between Hawks. So, for people wondering about the Fennel reasoning... Fennel have Tanner, who's dog shit, Corporal, who's dog shit, Hatchinetsu and Recap, who are alright. They're not great. And then they got Leo, who's been on a sub around the LCK for ages. He's played for T1 back when they weren't very good. Mostly off the bench, though. Sandbox, when they were alright. Mostly made a few appearances off the bench. Freaka Freaks on the bench, and now they've let him go to Fennel, so he might be pretty decent. I've just realised you've seen my Twitter. Who cares? I don't post on it anyway, so there's no point in following. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking currently of this LJL league. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. I'm probably gonna get a bit of hate, if anything, for this Fennel and Axie's positioning, I think. I think it's quite hard to see them versus CGA. In fact, it might be worth doing that, actually. it might be worth just sort of saying that's what it's more like with because CGA. Yeah, I think the thing is I have faith. The thing about CGA is I have a lot of faith in their players, and you could say that's kind of true for Axes as well. I have a lot of faith that they'll outperform what's expected, but not that they'll do well. And then like Fennel, I have no faith in. The players that I perhaps should have some faith in, like I definitely think Tannel and Corporal are worse than people say they are. And I definitely think Megumin and Chioni are probably better than they are. And then Nap, Yujiro and Honey for Crest. So I think that's maybe a bit more fair. Let me know how you think. I will also be recording positional ones in the future. See you in a bit.